Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been 2 years since the Indian government, in stark violation of the international law, UN Security Council resolutions, and bilateral agreements, revoked the special status of the illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. To consolidate its illegal actions and occupation, India deployed 100,000 additional troops in the valley, taking the total to almost 1 million. The Indian government has made the illegally occupied territory the world's largest open prison by curbing liberties, civil rights of 8 million innocent Kashmiris. It has imposed curfew, internet and media blackout, and introduced various steps, including a series of new domicile laws to change the demographic structure of the disputed territory. These legislations are illegal and in breach of the relevant UN Security Council resolutions and the Fourth Geneva Convention. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past 2 years, the Indian forces have further intensified their inhumane crackdown and military siege. The already precarious human rights and humanitarian situation in IIO-J&K has further deteriorated due to the oppressive actions of the Indian government. The gross human rights violations in IIO-J&K have been repeatedly exposed in the reports of the international media, human rights organizations, and parliaments around the world. The UN Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights has extensively documented India's gross and systematic violations of human rights and recommended an independent commission of inquiry in 2 separate reports issued in June 2018 and July 2019. These reports were termed as the voice of United Nations by UN Secretary General Mr. Antonio Guterres. The High Commissioner for Human Rights and multiple UN Special Procedure mandate holders have also expressed serious concerns at the human rights situation in IIO-J&K. Unfortunately, India continues to deny access to the international media, human rights organizations, including the Office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights and Special Procedures of the United Nations. The miseries of the people of IIO-J&K have also been amply documented in the Human Rights Watch report of 2021. The Vice President of the European Parliament, Dr. Fabio Massimo Castaldo, has last week sent a letter to the President of the European Commission and the European Union's High Representative for Foreign and Security Policy, calling on urgent action to address the alarming human rights situation in IIO-J&K. The letter has been co-signed by 15 other members of European Parliament. In September 2019, the European Parliament held an open debate on the situation in Jammu and Kashmir. A large number of MEPs condemned the Indian actions and deteriorating human rights situation in the territory and called upon India to lift the military siege. The chair of European Parliament's Subcommittee on Human Rights, MEP Maria Arena, also wrote a letter to the Indian Home Minister raising serious concerns on the situation of human rights in India last year. The situation in IIO-J&K is dire and represents the worst humanitarian tragedy of our times. This travesty of justice and international law must come to an end. The international community should play its role and impress upon India to immediately lift the military siege, rescind the illegal and unilateral actions of August 5, 2019, comply with the UN Security Council resolutions, seize its gross human rights violations, and allow access to the international human rights and humanitarian organizations, observers, and international media to the occupied territory. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan will continue to extend political, diplomatic, and moral support to the people of Jammu and Kashmir in realization of their right to self-determination guaranteed to them by the UN Security Council. I encourage you all to be the voice of the innocent Kashmiris to expose the Indian atrocities in IIO-J&K and elicit a strong international response. I thank you for your attention.